Wake up, sundown, creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare, it's dangerous. They'll linger in the dark. Climb from below, temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms, what is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God, and abyss come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies across the vast wild desert. Move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the metric and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. I already see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. I'll gladly give my life for my people. Can my kingdom point the way? That's a small price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher, the highest height, and the lower, the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
Alarms, hear the voice of God, and abyss come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies across the vast wild desert. Move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the metric and the omen of the mind.
My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden, I have been chosen. My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden, I have been chosen.
Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies across the vast wild desert. Move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the metric and the omen of the mind. Wake up, sundown, creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare, it's dangerous. They'll linger in the dark. Climb from below, temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms, what is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God, and abyss come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul, dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies across the vast wild desert. Move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the metric and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. I already see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. I'll gladly give my life for my people. Can my kingdom point the way? That's a small price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher, the highest height, and the lower, the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
Alarms, hear the voice of God, and abyss come to your
Hello, 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 governors. Welcome to Osiris League Season 7 Playoff Semifinals. I am your host, Palado Gaming, content creator and caster for Rise of Kingdoms, and the match that we will be spectating today is 84OF from Kingdom 1484 versus JST from Kingdom 1365. These two teams are facing off in a one-match elimination, meaning whoever wins gets to qualify to the Osiris League Season 7 Finals. But if you lose, it is the end of your season. Both teams are looking really strong before today's matchup, as they are both undefeated and pretty dominant in their wins. 84OF in the round of 16 versus against Ace 615, won against them. No, they won against 1158 rather, and then they versed Mimi and they won against them. It was a rather close match. As we go into the game here to see the bracket, so it was a rather close match in their quarterfinals, but now they are against their biggest test yet, JST, previous Osiris League winners, so they definitely have the experience. They've been a top team for a very long time. I believe they won season 4, so they've definitely have the experience, and in their route to the semifinals, they won against 419E and 1188. So both teams are fighting to get into the finals, and they're not actually versing 1v. They're fighting against 93T. Very it was a pretty big upset from the league bets and the Eye of Talent from those predictions, as 1v was seen as, you know, they've won the past 2 Osiris Leagues. They've won the grand finals a couple of times. So they were seen as the favorites in this area, in this matchup. But 93T taking the victory from 1v in the match that happened 13 UTC earlier today. So 84OF and JST are fighting for the chance to get into the finals and fight against 93T. So that should be pretty interesting. JST actually winning against 93T in the group stage. So we will see what happens in this matchup if 84OF is able to actually win against JST, or if JST will be able to get a rematch against 93T in the finals here. This season has definitely been very, very interesting, with a lot of upsets happening throughout the realms. 1v being the most surprising. GT 60 GT almost losing to 2244. That was really surprising. And we will have to see if 84OF gets to upset JST, because JST is seen as the favorites in this matchup. If I go over to league bets here, they are seen as the favorites, I believe, by a pretty wide margin. So we'll have to see if 84OF is able to make up and kind of pull off another upset today in the realm of Horus. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what they do. 84OF being at 3.6 billion power in their team, JST at 3.7. So power will not be the difference. It will all be strategies. It'll all be tactics. And that is the name of the game usually when you get this far into OL. And yeah, I think the biggest thing we will see is JST. We actually spectated them earlier in the group stage, and the biggest thing is they play very, very well, and they hold their structures really, really well, and they play really standard. And we'll have to see if 84OF will be able to kind of use these new skills, use the fog to, you know, kind of be a bit sneaky around JST, because JST is such a good team where if you play them standard, if you play them straight up, it's going to be very hard to win. But if you use master strategies, if you use the fog to your advantage, 84OF, I believe, can actually make some noise here in this match. So we will have to see the matchup as we finally start to get into the game here. Being a top 4 team, they did already get their city skin, so they got the training city skin. JST has had it before, but I'm not too sure about 84 OF. But it should be a very, very good match as I get into game here. Okay, there you go. I'm just clicking through, and we should be good to go as I switch over the screens now. There you go. So, there you go, 77.2% going over to JST, but 22.8% going to 84OF. So 84OF definitely has respect, and there is potential for an upset here as we see. Wow, do they all have? I was about to say they all have like matching profile pictures showing the coordination. But yeah, there you go. Everyone TPing in. Let's check the powers here. 100 power, 100 mil is kind of the area you want to be in for these Osiris League. 90 mil also works. You'll have to, obviously heal your hospital a couple of times to make sure you continuously bring out those T5 marches here. For JST, we could also check the power. I believe isn't 1484 also in KVK, so they are in KVK. JST, I believe, is still in the off season, so that might come into play for this match as well. We got a couple high powered players around here on the JST side, so it should be a good match. Some things that we will be looking for as the game starts: opening sentries, see where they want information. Opening rallies, see if they actually try to contest the obelisks early, as well as seeing what marches and where they place their marches, who gets to the desert altar first from both sides. So it should be an interesting match here starting in 45 seconds. JST, this realm is pretty wide open. Everyone's seeing 1v as the favorites. 1v no longer an obstacle. 93T being the obstacle in the finals now. Who will get to fight against 93T? JST or 84OF? So it should be a very, very good matchup. Both teams having hope in their eyes that they can win it all here. So we also have to see the double C's here. And just as a disclaimer, in case you, just as a reminder rather, this stream is on a 12-minute delay for competitive integrity purposes, as we see 84OF with a really fast sentry around in between the Shrine of War and the Sky Altar, I guess, to see what kind of marches around are coming towards their desert altar. Pretty interesting sentry placement. It tends to be the standard sentry placement. JST also placing their sentry at around the same area. I kind of like their positioning more closer to the Shrine of War. You get to see how many marches are going towards the shrine. I guess this is for more so for obelisk. You could definitely see the rally coming in if there's an obelisk rally. But yeah, I like this positioning more, but it shouldn't be too consequential here, as 84OF capturing their 2 outposts first. So maybe that'll make a little bit of a difference here. But yeah, there you go. The super fast, look at this guy just speeding through towards the obelisk with the T1 and double C. So there you go. Obelisk was captured first by 84, but shortly after, JST was able to capture it. Let's see the opening rallies here. 84OF actually having 4 obelisk rallies. For JST, it looks like they have 2. No, they also have 4 obelisk rallies and 3 outpost rallies. So these outpost rallies, super interesting. Just trying to delay the points as much as possible for those 30. For this outpost, I'm guessing you do get 80 points for first occupation, so it's not nothing. But we'll have to see if that hinders their open field capabilities, having 6 marches dedicated to outposts here. as we actually see a lot of marches coming towards this mid side here. I'm curious to see what these marches going mid are for. Interesting. Maybe to attack some of the stragglers? There are also marches mid from 84OF as well, as both teams are beelining for the Desert Altar. It looks like both teams, actually 84OF, I think they have the positioning advantage for their own Desert Altar, and they may have the positioning advantage for JST's Desert Altar as well. You have a cavalry rally going towards the obelisk here. Usually you see infantry rallies because infantry is the slowest troop type. If you see cavalry rallies, that usually indicates that they are trying to contest the obelisk itself. First fights outside of the 84 Desert Altar. We also have some fights in the middle here, as well as, there you go, 84OF actually catching JST off guard here, having a lot of presence around this Desert Altar. As we see HQ as open field commander, we got Joan, Hua Qbing is HQ. I'm curious, will this rally actually prove to be difficult? They have people swarming it. They have a Jan in here, so I think that will be safe. The obelisk will be safe for 84OF, because in 10 seconds they will be able to teleport some cities in. But yeah, look at that. 84OF actually having some field presence here outside of the Desert Altar. Desert Altar still has a minute before you can actually capture it. It does look like JST have a bit of a numbers advantage here. But in terms of positioning, 84 definitely, I mean, you kind of want a march just to put into this Desert Altar. You could see the garrison as well, kind of want to swarm that guy down. They have two garrisons actually. The main garrison and the backup. It looks like JST will... Well, it's actually pretty close here. But they were able to TP in, so... JST will probably have control of this Desert Altar. Let's see who gets first cap here. Ooh! 84 actually able to get their marches in first, delaying the cap of the Desert Altar. And they were able to get their Desert Altar pretty free here. As we see, they're actually swarming down the Shrine of War. And they got the Sky Altar. What is going on here? Oh, they have control of all four altars, 84OF do. It might not be too consequential, but it does delay the point capture for JST. It does delay the point capture for JST here. And they actually have a garrison outside of the Sky Altar, so big stuff. 84, they did cede control of the Desert Altar, but they were able to stall it for at least a minute, or at least 3 minutes actually. So that's, they're able to stall the cap for a minute, I guess. So it's like 150 points they're able to deny there. JST actually having a lot of units around in this top lane over here, capturing the Shrine of Life. Wonder what the play is for JST. Arc is spawning in 5 minutes 40 seconds here. There you go. We see 84 starting to rotate mid. JST also starting to rotate mid. So both teams having very similar timings here. The opening structure game looked really good for 84. But now it is even. It is practically even here. A Sky Altar uncontested. The Sky Altar is actually being pretty contested by JST here. So these marches are probably dedicated to this outer lane to pressure the Sky Altar. They will not be involved in this mid fight. Or they will be rotating late. As JST actually getting the first march into mid here. We'll start seeing the first capture points start trickling in about 10 seconds here. There's actually a lot of marches, or 5 marches around this desert altar. There you go. First capture points. 84 was able to capture their structures first because they interrupted the altars of JST, but it looks like 84 is actually conceding their desert altar for this mid pressure. Pretty interesting. JST having a lot of pressure around these altars rather. It also looked like 84 was trying to deny the first cap points for this desert altar, but JST putting units here, putting troops here, just to confirm and kind of lock in their first points. So there is a little bit of a lead from 84. But JST winning the structure game, especially in this top lane, pretty heavily here. Arc is spawning in 3 minutes. I feel like 84 have the numbers advantage here, actually. There are some JST marches in the back just sniping, making their marches weaker as they start walking. It's a pretty interesting concept, actually. As 84, what do you do? Because you definitely want to go mid, but you don't want to like get distracted. No, mid fight's actually starting early here. JST, no, I believe 84 actually engaging early as they have the numbers. No skills popped as of yet. JST now heavily flooding the mid lane here with marches. Total vision used by JST. Total vision also used in response by 84 OF. But it looks like both teams are backing up here. If that's the case, I think JST might have the numbers advantage, although it is pretty close. It is pretty close. JST is missing 5% health from the shrine taken by 84 OF. The low march trying to pull some marches out. Also trying to scout a little bit, I'm guessing. The JST marches were sad faced. The ones kind of poking the OF marches. We actually have like one player from OF starting to go in here. Pretty interesting. JST is kind of trying to split them apart here, making 84 have to make the decision. Do we start attacking these guys back, or do we keep walking mid? What do we do? JST posturing towards the left side. Both 84 altars are being contested right now. Both teams using dust up. Here we go. This is the mid fight that we were looking for. Wow, look at the carnage here. Sad faces coming out from JST. There are some sad faces now coming from 84 OF. Let's check the dots here. Ooh, wow, it is looking really even here. I like the positioning of OF being in the back here. Whoever has more marches in the middle tends to lose because it's easier to AoE. I think 84 OF won this mid fight. Wow. They also were able to get first cap. The arc carrier going north. JST losing control of the arc here, as well as their own desert altar. What is going on here? The whole bottom lane of 84 OF capturing all the structures. JC are able to delay and kill the arc carriers a little bit here, but overall it looks like 84 OF have more open field presence. Ooh, they're starting to bring some marches down south. It opens up an opportunity for JST to regain control of this arc. We've seen so many steals from different teams with master strategies. So no arc is safe. Although I'm not too sure what skills each team has brought to the table, if JST has it on their skill bar. JST putting a sentry around there in the middle of the obelisk and shrine. Interesting. JST capturing the desert altar of 84 OF. It looks like 84 OF definitely have control of it for now. I don't see any batches of marches from JST indicating that there will be a teleport. So 84 actually going even in the structure game, as well as winning the mid fight here, is huge for them. Oh, here we go. There are some marches here to intercept the arc carrier. The arc is still up for grabs here, but I think 84 OF have pretty decent control around it. JST still slowly winning the structure game, at least in this top area. Winning the Shrine of Life pretty handily. But they did lose control of the Desert Altar, of the 84 OF Desert Altar. Points per minute are dead even at the moment. So it looks like the biggest difference between point differential will be this first arc as of now. I wonder what the JST game plan is now. Probably start to reset and then group up for a push towards both altars here, as the Sky Altar is also getting swarmed down here. Wow, it's getting chunked. I don't think 84 OF will be able to hold the Sky Altar even with the reinforcements coming in. but that gen is holding strong. They have a backup garrison. No, I wasn't able to get there in time. Close though. Desert Altar looks safe. Here we go. The other Desert Altar of 84 OF here. Again, so many troops just swarming down these altars with the rally. Having control of all 4 altars. What is the plan for 84 OF now? They lost almost all of their structures. Huge play from JST. Look at the point differential, 670 points per minute compared to 150. I think if you're 84, you kind of have to just... What do you do? Cap the arc? Try to force mid again? Because they did win mid pretty handily there. But yeah, look at this JST domination right now. It looked pretty shaky, honestly, early for JST, but 84 OF showing some cracks in the structure game right now. Although they were able to recapture the Sky Altar. That's the first step, capturing your altars here. Shrine is getting swarmed down though. Although I think they have enough reinforcements around the shrine. Yeah, I guess they're gonna hold this arc until they get the structures back. The thing about holding arc is you control the pace of the game. You control when the mid-fight will happen, if there will be a mid-fight that happens. So very interesting matchup here. It looks like they're trying to get their Shrine of Life back first. There's just too many JST marches around this Desert Altar for sure. The thing about JST that you see a lot is they push like just before their rally. They let their rally tank and then they swarm. It's pretty disciplined by them. Because if you're a swarming march and you are tanking the garrison, you're going to get melted no matter what. But the rally, you could keep that topped off and then that'll be the tank and a damage dealer as well. So JST having control around the Desert Altar. Let's see the Desert Altar of JST. Oh, it's actually getting contested by 84 OF here. Getting pretty low. Let's see if they have some reinforcement marches coming. It looks like they do. This Desert Altar is getting super low. Will JST be able to stuff this? They have some reinforcements coming in. That's a good thing about Heraclius Garrison, is you can fill it with any troop type. Just fill it with any troop type. And that's the biggest thing is sometimes you can't dictate what troops are going to be around the structure. So having a flexible garrison like Heraclius is huge. But 84 was ultimately able to capture the Desert Altar, making the points per minute a bit more even. The game's still not out of reach for them for sure. They still have the arc. They are able to capture JST structures. Although it looks like JST is reswarming this structure right back. There you go. They didn't have a proper garrison for that take. Let's see the Sky Altar. A lot of 84 OF around the Sky Altar. Some of them AFK. For these marches, you definitely just want to swarm the Sky Altar and Sad Face so that you can refresh. That's definitely the play. There you go. They're able to recapture the Sky Altar. The Desert Altar looks like it'll stay. It looks pretty healthy. The marches around it look pretty low. Ooh, the Desert Altar on this side though. It looks like JST's captured Desert Altar will start going down here. A lot of 84 OF marches around here as they captured the Arc. So they are now in the lead here. 84 OF are. So they are in the lead. 7 minutes until Arc spawns here. Very, very close game. It looks like JST, like, it looks like they have control, and then 84 is just able to wrestle it right back. '84 looking really impressive, standing toe-to-toe against JST. One of the most experienced Osiris League teams. They were able to push out the JST push. They are holding the Shrine of War. Shrine of Life, rather. We'll have to see when each team decides to start pushing and sending troops mid, as there is a couple JST marches coming to the mid lane here. We got Liang rallying. But I believe JST will be able to hold this Desert Altar. Overall, they just have a lot of marches around here still. Same with the 84 OF Desert Altar. So both Desert Altars being heavily protected at the moment. But JST with the first rotation mid here. We'll have to see if 84 OF can win another mid fight. Their positioning last time was really, really good. Just being able to surround JST, keep them in the middle as they AoE down their marches. JST using a hidden sentry in the middle here just to make sure that they can see if there's any sentries of 84 OF. That Desert Altar is safe. This Desert Altar looks safe. So it looks like everyone is starting to focus on this mid lane now, as 84 OF actually capturing the Sky Altar here. Wow. Denying about 300 points. I don't know how they got it taken away from them, but yeah, they're re-swarming it. I think JST is like, hey, we lost the last mid fight. Let's have all hands on deck for this mid fight. Let's just send everyone here. As actually, they're about to do the same thing 84 OF did. Oh no, the reinforcements coming in clutch. 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, not in time. JST able to take the Sky Altar from and deny 300 points back, but 84 OF looks like they will have continued control of this Sky Altar. as the mid positioning is in JST's favor. They are in between 84OF and the altar, and the Temple of Osiris. 84OF also putting down a sentry on top of their own murder ball here. It's kind of like a rallying beacon right now. Just seeing where each sentry is compared to each murder ball. Both teams still accumulating forces here as 2 minutes 30 seconds passed until Arc spawns. As it is right now though, both teams very, very even in terms of structures. It looks like JST has more numbers here. Let's see if 84OF can win another mid fight. If I was 84OF, I'd probably position a bit south around this area, just so that you have touch points next to the temple. Kind of threaten the arc carriers here, as total vision used by 84OF. Total vision also used by JST in response, but no fights as of yet. Dust up used by 84OF. 84OF, they are the ones that need to push in because JST has a position next to the temple. Let's see what JST does with this reposition. It looks like they let them reposition. Okay. So both teams have position around this temple. It's about to go down. JST versus 84OF. The fights have begun. Dust Up used by JST and Heaven's Grace by JST. So that's a full skill bar. Both teams using the same skills as well, mirroring each other. First sad face is coming out for 84OF, although there were a couple from JST. Let's check the dots. Ooh, JST, I believe, having the positioning here. Although there are a lot of good position marches in the back. Look at the sad faces from 84OF though. Oh my goodness, there's a waterfall of sad faces as Arc has spawned. Who will get first tap here? 2, 1. It looks like 84OF actually got first tap. The Arc is to the northeast of the temple. But it does look like JST is cleaning up this mid fight. Although they do have a lot of low marches, but JST getting the pull. A huge pull from this Nevsky here. Nevsky Joan pulling towards their top obelisk. As JST also capturing all of the 84OF structures while this is happening. So JST wins mid as well as capturing all the structures. A huge point differential for JST here, as they have won the mid fight and the structure game. 84OF have to respond by recapturing their own structures here and maybe looking for a steal, as this arc carrier looks like it's going towards this outpost. So there is a bit of risk involved here, but there are no 84 OF marches nearby. So this arc looks safe for now. It looks like the JST march is still going towards the outpost here. So huge win from JST. Not only did they win mid, they also won structures. Meaning that 84 OF went all in mid, but still lost. While JST had a couple marches, had a couple rallies set on these structures. Winning now due to points per minute, as well as having control of the arc here. '84 OF having a Nevsky as a garrison for their desert altar here. That's not what you want to see. Liang. We got HQ. They need a garrison for this desert altar, but it looks like they will hold the desert altar. JST having control of the sky altar. It looks like they are now moving. Yeah, they are moving the arc to their obelisk, which is the most safest capture. If you don't know, you can actually capture arcs inside of cities, which is the safest place to be. If you put it next to an obelisk, the opponent can recapture an obelisk, take the arc, and capture it inside of that obelisk. But if you're next to a city, an opponent can't go into your city. So, safest place to capture for sure. '84 OF was able to recapture their home altars, but only gaining 70 points per minute. And that's one thing JST is really good at. They're even taking the outposts here, making sure that they deny as many points as possible. Kind of having like an omnipresence type of approach to this match, meaning they're everywhere. They're contesting everything. There isn't going to be a free objective for '84 OF, and '84 OF kind of have to trade objectives here. '84 OF was able to capture the desert altar of JST. So that's what I mean by trading. They were able to take a JST objective, and now the points per minute aren't as lopsided, although JST having made a huge lead while they had that structure game advantage. It's really interesting. It's like JST poking different areas at the same time. Teams either have to react, which usually you have a slower reaction time because you don't know where they're going to be and what structures they're going to contest. Or you just have to make a game plan to contest JST structures and kind of just stick to that game plan. That's what I meant by, if you play standard against JST, they're just going to pick you apart and kind of spread you thin. JST having a swarm and a rally on this desert altar. Although I do believe '84 have enough troops around to hold this. As for the desert altar that they captured, it looks like it is about to go down. So they still do have the points per minute advantage, but JST had huge point per minute advantage for a couple minutes there during that mid fight, and they have arc control. So it is still comebackable for 84 OF, but I think they have to hold their own altars. They have to try to at least poke these structures so that JST isn't gaining points, and they have to decisively win the next mid fight with some provisioning. Are 84 OF provisioning? I don't see any provisioning marches from 84 OF. So I don't think provisioning will be a factor for them. While JST, I believe I see a couple provisioners out there. At least 2 marches I saw. Every single structure in the game practically been blinking here. So many JST marches around this desert altar, as there is a Joan of Arc garrison here. Not ideal, as JST was able to capture the desert altar. And that's the thing, JST knows these altars mean so many points. So if you're even able to deny them for a couple of minutes, that's minus 150 points every single minute you deny an altar. Every single time you capture an altar, that's at least 2 minutes, meaning at least 300 points you're denying to your opponents. So they know that these altars are the way to go for sure. As we also see JST just holding the arc for as long as possible. I mean, if you're winning the structure game, might as well, right? Super standard. Played it to a T. Played very, very well from JST here. Both sides holding each other's their own structures except for the Sky Altar. This is the only difference here. But look at the points per minute. Oh my goodness. And this is how JST's been making their lead so wide. They haven't even captured the arc yet. 740 points per minute compared to 180 points per minute is huge for JST. Although it does look like they will lose a Sky Altar. But look, they still have reinforcement marches, just some cav marches around to make sure that they keep the Sky Altar topped off, even though they don't have field control around it. Oh, here is the offensive 84 OF here around this desert altar. Will they be able to take another They've been able to take this desert altar pretty often. Will they be able to retake it? Start evening out the points per minute? It looks like JST doesn't have that many marches around here. So JST losing the Sky Altar that they captured. Potentially losing the Desert Altar, although the Desert Altar is pretty healthy. It is pretty healthy. 84 OF do have a lot of marches around here, but JST's marches are... I mean, they're very close to this area, so they could just instantly refresh. It looks like the rally was actually killed. So 84 OF wasn't actually filling the rally here. Wow, 84 OF. Some of them are swarming the marches, some of them are swarming the structure here. But this JST gen is holding super strong. But even this gen, I think, is going to go down with the amount of marches around here. Oh my goodness. Look how low it is. Will someone be able to go in? Ah, no, they weren't able to reinforce. So the Desert Altar does go down. 3 altars for 84 OF. Making the points per minute. Oh, 2 altars now. JST was able to capture the Desert Altar. So JST trading the altars here. That's the thing about JST. They're just able to get these objectives, they're able to get these structures, even though there's so many marches of 84 OF around. They're able to hold. They're able to just get to these structures when, and most teams have no means or no business holding or taking structures. JC recapturing their desert altar. But 84 OF will start gaining points from their own Sky Altar soon. Meaning that they will actually start winning in the points per minute for at least a little bit here. It looks like 84 OF is starting to stabilize their structures here. But with the point differential here, you don't want to stabilize. You have to be in the advantage now. Especially since JST hasn't even captured their arc yet. It feels like the arc fight was so long ago. That mid fight was so long ago. But JST just holding. Because they know that if they hold this, and the mid fight isn't, there's not too much of a threat of a mid fight. They have control of this game. They have full control of this game right now. We'll have to see how 84 OF responds. As JST is able to hold the Desert Altar. There is a little bit of an offensive force for the Sky Altar here. But honestly, JST doesn't need to go on the offensive at all. If they want to. They could just defend their structures, hold the arc, capture the arc, and then fight mid. So what's 84 OF's path to a comeback here? I guess one way would to somehow steal this arc, which I think is impossible at this point. So JST will be up around 6k. They have to capture the arc. 1. 2, they have to take the altars and be on the offensive, which they've been trying. 3, they have to hold their own altars. Actually, holding their own altars is more important than taking altars, but at this point, you have to kind of do both at the same time, which is going to be super tough. Playing standard against JST, as I said, very, very, very tough. They beat 93T, who just beat 1V. So the match is looking rather close, but JST is still firmly in control. As they finally scored the arc, there you go. About a 7k point differential. Huge. 11 minutes to go here. 84 OF. Hopefully they had some secret pivot provisioners that I didn't see. Or else it's going to be very, very tough for them to come back on this match. JST holding the Sky Altar, now aggressing towards the Shrine of Life, as they are also aggressing towards the Desert Altar here. And this is what I'm talking about, JST. Their push is so relentless, where they push together, they push with a rally, softening up the structure as the rally comes in. So it's really, really tough for 84 OF to actually garrison swap sometimes. It's really, really tough to hold a structure that continuously gets bombarded by pressure. So if you look at the flashing here, 2 84 OF structures, 3 84 OF structures are being contested compared to the one from JST. So JST definitely putting the pain, kind of controlling the narrative, controlling the pace of the game right now. As the Desert Altar here looking rather low, but so is the rally, to be honest here. They have the backup garrison coming in. Will the garrison come in time? Desert Altar is so low from 84OF. I think it's about to pop. There you go. JST again taking the Desert Altar, taking another structure, as they also take the Sky Altar, holding 4 altars. They know that 84OF have to win the mid fight, but they also have to win the structure fight. They could sack this arc and just take all the structures, and 84OF would still be down. 84OF actually taking the Desert Altar yet again here. Let's see if they could recapture their own Desert Altar here. It also looks like they are pressuring. Ooh. That's one thing too. Having the rallies die is pretty bad because usually you have the garrison within the rally. You could see there's a Heraclius in there. So people try to sneak the garrison instead of walking it up inside of the rally for an offensive garrison. So what JST does is they always swarm down the rally, because even if the rally dies but the structure falls, they won't have a garrison for the structure later. Mid is, as you see, a lot of 84OF 4 minutes before Arc spawns. Arc will spawn, but they will only have 4 minutes to cap. So 84OF, they don't have that much time. If JST actually stalls them, not even like wins mid but stalls, then it'll still be a JST win for in this mid fight. Because JST, they already have the lead. They just want to hold what they have. All they need to do is hold what they have. They've already taken the structures earlier in the game to build this advantage that they have. Looks like 84OF is starting to push up on this JST murder ball that's building up here. As we are going to get one last mid fight here. A lot of 84OF marches. Let's see if JST will do similar to what happened last mid fight, where they just took structures as well as fighting mid. JST is very, very solid for sure. As it actually looks like 84OF is allowing JST to accrue their murder ball, let them rotate mid. So actually, what looked like a numbers advantage for 84OF is looking like a numbers advantage for JST now. At least it's very even. Dust up used from 84OF. Total vision used by JST. As well as hidden sentry from JST. As they place a sentry on top of their murder ball. We got 5 minutes left in the game, 2 minutes until Arc spawns. I think this is such an interesting strategy from JST, just whittling down the marches with a couple, they have a couple people dedicated just to making sure that the marches aren't 100% as they go mid. It either delays the mid push, as these marches are now going to have to chase or just start mid. start going mid. So these marches that would probably have been part of this fight are now occupied with the JST marches. Such an interesting idea. Both murder balls yet again super close. 84 OF with the positioning advantage though. Let's see what JST does, because JST is going to have to be on the aggressive here. There you go. JST having the call to move in to the death used by JST. Oh my goodness. Heaven's Grace used by 84 OF. But to the death is going to be such a big hill to climb for 84 OF here. Look at the sad faces from 84 OF. Absolutely being cleared in this mid fight. Someone pinging OK in the middle of the mid fight here. As Arc is going to spawn in 4 seconds. There is also a JST Arc carrier in the back here. I believe the JST member got first tap as well. As an Arc carrier from 84 OF did not actually start capping. There you go. Daco X Nappy getting the last arc pull here, which is so detrimental to 84 OF as the sad face stream starting to pour from 84 OF. To the death being too much, although there are a couple marches still in this murder ball. They're not over yet, but yeah, they're not. Never mind. Never mind. So many JST marches here. Will JST actually get to cap this arc as well? Winning the structure game and winning the arc game means you win arc. And the provision game, they still have provisioners out as well. So this is what JST does. They kind of posture as they're going to the outpost. And then based on the state of each side of the map, they go start beelining to one side or the other side. Kind of steering away from the shrine and the outpost and going through this middle lane, trying to be as far away from structures as possible. As there is someone contesting this arc cap. I think they might actually be able to drop the arc here. Maybe deny the cap from JST. As this altar is going to be recaptured by JST. This altar, the sky altar, is going to be recaptured by 84 OF. So everyone having their own side structures here, except for this one outpost owned by JST. But points per minute though, still in JST's favor. There is a sentry used by 84 OF. Is there going to be some sort of teleport shenanigans? There is only a minute left of this arc, of this match. This player is going to barely be able to capture the arc. 10 seconds to spare. So yeah, JST just showing the overall game, playing structures. If you play structures, we're going to go mid, win mid. If you play mid, we're going to go capture your structures. Showing that they can do both. Play super standard and play super well. Jen inside of this desert altar, but so many JST marches. I don't think this desert altar will be going down anytime soon. Looks like some people are already logging off here. 3, 2, 1. Just last second arc cap. GG's to JST. Very, very good effort from 84 OF. Both teams playing really, really well. But JST just proving to be too much for 84 OF, winning in all 3 categories: arc of Osiris score, occupation score, and provision score, as well as total kills. 84 OF putting their all into it, healing 28.7 million troops. But yeah, GG's to both teams. So it will be JST versus 93T, a rematch of the group stage. We will have to see how those matches go within the next coming weeks. Be sure to subscribe to the Rise of Kingdoms, official Rise of Kingdoms channel, where you are currently watching this live stream right now. And if you like more Rise of Kingdoms content, if you want to see more Plato Gaming, the link to my channel is also in the description. I stream KVKs. I also stream just overall Rise of Kingdom stuff, I guess, events. So be sure to check it out, and we will see you guys next week. See ya.